That is because of your mind. Your mind, in your mind, you have made that as divine. It is just like prana pratishtha being done on an idol. In your mind, you have done the prana pratishtha. So whenever you see that idol, you feel very much connected to it. Similarly,
No, not with the idol. No. I'm only with that.
I got it. So even with the Rudrakshi Mala or the Spatika, what you are having, by doing the japa, there is a vibration which creates that energy. Number two is that you have created a divinity around that. So when you touch to your heart and keep it, you will feel that vibration in your heart, which will be very extraordinary. So you will have that romanchana, or all the hairs will stand up almost.
Yeah, see, that anubhava was the same anubhava when I have done the meditation. I told you during your session, I told you that I am in that level. It is same. For me, it is no difference.
Right. But here what is happening, Bhatt, is that you are dependent on that. See, there is dependency and independent, right? So you should be in bliss, independent of anything, because Brahman is something which is independent of itself. It is not dependent on something. But the thing what we get through an object, even though it is good, it creates a dependency. Now what will happen eventually is you will not be able to stay without the Rudrakshi Mala or Spatika Mala or a particular deity or something like that. So you get totally attached by that. Okay, so that is the problem. You will get same effect between what you are doing now with Spatika and also just observing what we did on that day, each of the meditation what we did, that gives you the same experience. But the second one is independent. You can create that anytime you want.
Either the first one is the spirituality, second one is the bhakti.
No, the first one is bhakti. What you are doing is bhakti. You are sitting in a place and wearing the Rudrakshi Mala, doing all of that is bhakti.
Yes.
The other one, what you are doing is jnana. See, this is what you need to get.
Good morning, Vilas.
Namaskara, good morning.
Vilas, I always have a problem with the description of bhakti that you are having. The Rudraksha or any of those symbols are not bhakti. Bhakti, according to me, is surrender. Meaning you give it to a higher, you leave it to a higher plane, that everything will normally happen. None of the actions that we do is a part of bhakti. It is a part of religious activity, or it is an indication. I don't think it is all anything to do with bhakti.
Right, but
any of the actions is not bhakti. It's fine.
No, that is correct. That is, once a person establishes in consciousness, then that is bhakti. But generally, bhakti starts from that state. That state means the initial.
No, that is what we are understanding as bhakti. Unfortunately, from younger days, we are told that bhakti is when I sit and do all these things. This one, what. Painting a lamp or putting flowers to the god or sitting with the Rudraksha and meditating. All these are bhakti is what we are told. But actually that is how we all think. Meaning it's all, I don't deny that you have to start like that and it's a discipline. For me that is a discipline which you have to do. But bhakti is not at all that. Bhakti is where you are giving up everything to a higher plane. Meaning you don't feel anything that you are doing is what you are doing. It is what, wherever you are establishing that bhakti, that person or that god or that super consciousness which is making you do it. And that alone is bhakti. All the other actions that we are doing, they are all disciplines which we follow to get to bhakti is what I feel.
No, that is correct, Padmashri. I don't deny, but what I'm saying is that if you were to start anywhere, so that initial, let us call it a discipline or yama or niyama, all of that is part of bhakti only. You are establishing in consciousness, and because that you are establishing in consciousness, it helps you to establish the real bhakti later, and that turns into Shraddha because it starts working. So now you don't have any misjudgment or doubt that whether this will work or not. So what you are saying is the end result of bhakti, meaning you know these rituals are not going to give you that bhakti, and then you drop it off, considering them as just a discipline or...
But the yama, niyama, and by niyama, the word itself is a rule. That means it's a discipline, meaning it's not...
Right.
These are all steps to bhakti. I fully agree with you. I have no doubt about that. But then I'm just saying that is not bhakti.
No, you are...
Just because you're following the is not bhakti.
No, Padma Shri, it is not like that. See, it's not that you have been told this is bhakti or you have been told that is not bhakti. The concept of bhakta is that you start to surrender. It is not that you have surrendered. If you have surrendered, then there is no you at all. So who is going to surrender? There's nobody you to surrender. So to start surrendering, you have to make something, and that Ishvara or whatever you want to do, you can do it, and that involves process. When it involves process, that involves steps and discipline and all of that. While I'm agreeing with you that leads to bhakti, but it is itself not bhakti, that is correct. But this one, whatever Bhatt is trying to say, is also the stepping stone to bhakti. I don't know what to call that as, and if we can keep on calling something or the other. So, but negating that it is not bhakti is also not true. Accepting that it is bhakti also, it is not true. We can call it as steps. Or
I fully accept you when you say, I fully agree with you when you're saying those are all steps to bhakti is okay for me.
yes.
That is okay. But when you're saying that is bhakti, I feel...
No, the thing is, that is bhakti means that, see, it depends on the mindset of the person. If you go to somebody and that person is going to temple and you say that that is not bhakti, he will call you a mad person. Because his mind has not got established in bhakti. The bhakti what you are talking about. If that was true, he wouldn't have taken trouble of going to the temple. He would have seen the God at his own place, in his heart. He doesn't have to go and search for it anywhere. The very fact that somebody is working out using Rudraksha Mala or Spatika Mala or going to a temple or believing in a particular deity means that the person has not yet got what the meaning of bhakti is as an experience. So we cannot negate that and say that is not bhakti. That's my thing. End result is correct. That person himself or herself will drop that because he knows or she knows that these rituals will not lead anywhere and they are more obligations than anything else. So the person will drop that.
Okay, my understanding is you have to make your chitta shuddhi. There are various processes, and this is one of the process. And yes, you need to, for bhakti, you need that something mantra is then anyatha sharanam nasti tvameva sharanam mama tasyat karunya bhavena raksha raksha Purushottama, something like that. That means you are really surrendering ego. Our ego, Adhyatma chakra is responsible for that ego. When you bring it to zero, you are fully falling on the feet of that guru who gives a jnanam, and that is bhakti. So, to achieve bhakti, you need your chitta shuddhi. For chitta shuddhi, you need all these things. So the process, maybe flower and chanting, whatever you like, which helps you. And basically making that you are going away from this prapancha connection to the connection with your that supreme power. That is my understanding.
That is correct. Understanding is correct, but when you start working out, you will see the difference. Anyway, so to answer to your question, but let me tell the question and you correct me if I am wrong also. So now your question yesterday was, as per Rigveda, which you are following, the Purusha and Prakriti are not Ananta. Purusha is there, that is always Ananta. Prakriti merges with Purusha. So it can never be Ananta. Within Purusha only Prakriti exists. Is that the right way to understand?
Yeah, about Prakriti, that Ananta or not, I have not mentioned there. What I have understood is that the Prakriti is the part of that Purusha. Is inside. Finally it dissolves there. Finally there is nothing called Prakriti. That is also Purusha only. Ultimately it is only Purusha.
Okay, that is what it is. So Ananta, in the sense that when we say Prakriti is Ananta, Purusha is Ananta, we are treating it as a separate entities. Okay, which is also true. That is what Dvaita is all about. So I have a question which will give an answer to you itself. So my question here is for all the three, but you can answer because it is your question. When you stand in front of the mirror, what do you see?
Image.
Then it is Prakriti is Ananta, Purusha is Ananta. Simple. You shouldn't see an image.
Yes, if you don't see the image, you are yourself. That's right.
So then what Rigveda says?
You are seeing the image and you are thinking that it is you.
Yes.
Actually, there is nothing called you there. Agreed, fully agreed.
And that's the answer.
That is Brahma, what we have, ignorance.
Yes, that
if
is
we
the
think
Brahma.
that
Yes.
the movie is the real, it is ignorance, it's our ignorance.
Yes. So when I see in front of the mirror, it is me who is having the beard and me having the skin, me having the hair, me having a body, and me tall, me short, and all of that. And when I see somebody opposite to me and I call that me as my wife, and I say that she is beautiful, or she is ugly, she is white, or she is fair, or she is brown, and she is tall and short, or fat and lean, and having gray hair or black hair, and all of that, that is called a Jagat. So Prakriti.
I think you answered my question.
Yes. So,
I have understood fully.
yes. So what we need to see is just the outer lining of the consciousness, the aura only, nothing else. You shouldn't be seeing eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, body, bones, blah blah blah. No good looking, ugly looking, tall, fair, handsome, beautiful, all those blah blah blah. Just the outer. And if I can see the outer, it means I am only seeing Karana Sharira, which is Rajas, Tamas, Sattva. So now what I have seen is the end of Prakriti. And hence Prakriti merges out. So there is no person. So can we do that?
Yeah, if I am able to see myself, if I am able to see myself with the other person also, there is nothing called other person then. Everywhere me only.
Yes.
All pervading.
Yes, that is what Nityananda said, the me in me, and that all me's and all me and all that. If that is possible, then you are exactly chanting Purusha Sukta.
Yes.
Because what it says is Purusham evedam sarvam yat bhutam yaccha bhavyam uta amruta tattvatte, whatever that is. So yadanne nati rupati. And that is the reason it sings that eta vanasya mahima
Vanasya mahima.
ato dhyaya.
Ato jaya purusha.
So you can only see through dhyana. You cannot see in any other way.
Yes.
So if you say, I'm doing japa, can I see Brahman? No. I am doing tapa, can I see Brahman? No. I am doing dhyana, can I see Brahman? Yes.
See, japa, tapa and dhyana. Japa and tapa is for chitta shuddhi. But directly you cannot enter the dhyana. That is what is our process. Process is japa tapa. First you have to shuddhi. You have to take your bath. Once you have that deha shuddhi, then you have to make your manas shuddhi. After manas shuddhi, and meditate. I think process point of view, that is okay for a human being.
No, it's like
But we cannot say that this process itself is God. We cannot say that. That's
no,
a process.
wait. Let me answer this question for you. Now,
Yeah.
what you need to do is, if you cannot attain Chitta Shuddhi straightforward, then you have to do Bhuta Shuddhi.
Yes.
For Bhuta Shuddhi, you have to make it as Namama. So, Prithvi Namama, Apo Namama, Tejo Namama, Vayu Namama, Akasha Namama.
Yes.
If you can do that, the elements will become purified.
Yes.
So then that is japa and tapa. So you require vibration, so you have a mantra. So you can use mantra as one method, tantra as another method, yoga as another method.
Yes.
What we are talking is
Yes.
yoga. If you do, then you don't require mantra and tantra. If you are using mantra, then you are vibrating it. Because of vibration created, the attachment of the mind to the 5 elements will go away. Then the 5 elements
Yes.
going away
Yes.
removes the object itself. So when the object itself is not there, then you have purified the mind from the elements. So what it basically means is that you have created this Shama and Dhamma. You have perfected Shama and Dhamma. So when you have perfected Shama and Dhamma, then you are ready or fit to do Dhyana, which is what is called Nididhyasana.
You're right.
Okay, so that is what we need to do. So 2 things we need to do if we want to remove this Prakriti from Purusha. Number 1, whenever we stand in front of the mirror or whenever we are seeing anyone as a reflection, you have to see them as Brahman, not as a person. If by chance I am still seeing as a person and trying to force fit Brahman, that is not going to work. Because let's say I have a white hair on.
No, I agree. I agree this, because for every what you call maybe acharya, they have prescribed something.
Yes.
For example, Kerala is maximum of tantra. Tantric puja is maximum. Chitta shuddhi again.
Correct.
And this north we have more of mantra. Kerala is mantra tantra both combination. Like that, if you go to northmost, you have a lot of Samaveda related like
Correct.
that.
Correct.
So ultimately, yeah, Shravanam and Mananam. If you see these two, it is all coming under that manas.
Yes.
Once you have that manas is chitta is shuddhi, then nididhyasana. That is nothing but meditation. There is no other meaning in that.
Yes.
It's only meditation. Any
Yes.
religion you take.
Yes, that is correct. So
Whatever you have understood, digest it and be there.
yes, that's correct. So answer to your question, till I am seeing my son or daughter or wife or husband or this body, that body, then the Prakriti is Satya, Jagat is also Satya. It is in Dvaita. Now I am no longer seeing the wife and husband and daughter and son and house and all of these. Instead I am seeing it is just vibration and nothing else. Then I am in Advaita. So I have become
Yes.
Aham Brahmasmi at that state. So I need to thank you, Bhatt, for asking me this question. So again, this happened while walking. I had a tremendous experience. So what I was telling Lata before you joined is that I need 3 of you keeping on asking me some question or the other, and that will give me a lot of insight. So you are indirectly, not indirectly helping me, you are directly helping me. I have no idea how to help you, but you 3 are considerably helping me. So my direct question to all the three of you is, how can I be of help to you? Because you are helping me so much on the path, I feel very much, what I can say, compassionate, grateful, gratitude, all of that I want to do something to three of you. I don't know in what way I can do anything to you.
I think that is continuously happening, Vilas. So what is important for us is our Dhi Shakti should be Prachodayat. That means that willpower to do that every day basis, we should get that energy to do it. Finally, it has to happen. For me now, I have no difference of opinion about any masters, acharyas, either Veda or non-Vedic. Anything is fine, because Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam is above all this. And Shravanam is we have to listen, and then you have to understand. After whatever you understood, you implement. I think this is the simplest technique taught by all acharyas.
Correct.
Including Jesus or Muhammad or whomever it is. If you really see, the core is that. That is called spirituality. Until then, because we are coming back to daily basis to our so-called transaction world, Rajas Guna is there. There we have to be little more of Sattvic Guna, so that it will help us to again clear our mind. If you have too much of Tamas, you will be only thinking about about yourself only. That ego will go very high. We have to bring our ego to the lowest possible level and do whatever is required as per your need. Because I know myself what is required for me. If that is convincing to you, yes, go ahead to the next step. So for that, what we need is the Yoyona Prachodayat. Our Dhi Shakti, our willpower, always should that so-called Almighty should help us to give us the right buddhi. That's what we always talk in front of God, right? We beg God only for that. So same thing as a guru sthana. I think Ashirvada is nothing but you achieve whatever your goal through sattvic way. That is what is required from people like you.
Okay, so
that can come in the form of your prayers, in the form of when you talk to us, in the form of sharing your experience.
Yeah, agreed. So now
that's what I believe.
Yeah, sure, absolutely fine. So shall we continue on the 8th verse?
Sure.
Okay, this shloka is more to do with what we have discussed in the last 2 days. So it says, Shariram yat avapnoti yat cha api atkramati ishvaraha grihitva etani samyati vayuhu gandhan iva ashayat. So, when does Sharira come? This is the question, okay, which is called as birth. Generally believed is that when the karma is ready to karma is ready to take shape, then the being gets separated out of the current physical body and gets into the paraloka, which is called as pitruloka, and waits for some period through the sukshma sharira, or rather sukshma plus karana sharira added together, and waits for an opportunity to get a sthula sharira back. So depending upon its karma, what is easily accessible through the chitta, then it takes that form. So since the person is reduced to jiva, that is as explained in the 7th verse, that consciousness is like amsha, jiva bhutaha sanatanaha. So it is called as soul because it is able to showcase as jiva in each one of them. So the being misunderstands this phenomenon of that consciousness appearing everywhere as an individual soul, and due to that misunderstanding, it creates an Ishvara within it. Yaccha api atkramati Ishvaraha. So Ishvara enters and Ishvara goes out. grihitva etani samyati. So it takes the subtle body parts along with it, which is rajas, sattva, tamas, and the chitta, which is part of the manas. So manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, all these four along with rajas, tamas, sattva goes away just like the vayu gandhan iva ashayat, as the wind takes the scent from wherever it is. So this scenting body, and that's what it does. Till it gets a gross physical body, it keeps on smelling. So there was a question which Bhatt had asked, so let me answer to this. This is the right moment to answer that. There are two kinds of Jivatma. One is this Pitruloka Atma, and one is the Paraloka Atma. Paraloka Atma is the one which are called as gods and angels and all that. They are in different level or different vibration of existence. So when we do the Pitru Paksha, or when we do the last rites, or we do the monthly or yearly ones of our parents or whoever has died, if you take that rice, which is pinda, and if you try tasting it, it will not be good. Have you ever tried Bhatt?
No, Penda we don't do that one.
No, they will put in each person, they will not the pinda what is given to them. Whatever residue is there in that pot, generally they will feed it to all the relatives and all the brothers and sisters if there are parents.
Pitruseksha it is called.
Yeah, correct.
Pitruseksha.
Yes.
That one that one, if you taste, it will be sour. It will not be good. Have you tried?
Mm-hmm.
You will
I have not observed so much.
Yeah, you should observe.
I have taken it like a prasadam.
No.
When such thing comes, I use it like prasadam.
But you will not really like it, basically. You are eating it or you are putting it because it is your parents or whoever has died. But actually, if given an opportunity, you will not want to partake that. You are doing it as a ritual, so you will never find it. Next time when you do your mother's or your father, just observe it. Nobody likes it. Okay? This is because this is apara karya.
Yes.
And the meaning of apara karya is it is not going to help you in any way. That's what it means. So generally when
just now you mentioned manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, intellect, something is moving from this body to another body.
Correct.
Like how fragrance of a flower along with the air moves, something similar way.
Correct.
But what is then karma? Karma also moves, right?
Yes, karma also moves. So the karma.
But when that enters, when that enters the new body, this buddhi and all can have impact. The same buddhi will not be there.
Yes, everything is changed. Everything is changed. So either you are given more because you have a very good punya phala, or the person comes up with a very bad karma phala, so that buddhi is removed.
Yes, there's a step change from this life to that life. This life somehow, whatever is given, not snatched so easily, unless some accident also. But next life, anything can happen.
No, even if the person has encountered accident and suddenly he died, or he got short circuited, or he was standing under a tree and a lightning struck him, whatever might be the cause, it doesn't really matter. When that happens, when the body cheda happens, that has happened and the place and every timing has set right, in that way, so that the GV can move forward. So what happens here is his subtle body, that is the Karana Sharira and the Sukshma Sharira, will take off to the next destination, that because that is removed, that Vayu is coming into existence because of that movement which has to happen due to his karma or her karma. Okay, so it will either take him or her to a better destination, or it will take him or her to a worse destination. Okay, now if let's
Can you explain me? I have one more thing. Can you explain me this situation? I'll give you one use case. See, it's a very sattvic kutumba. Father is good, mother is good, and the son is also very good. Now, because of the karmanubandha, they are in the same family. Now suddenly there is some disease, and now this father is admitted to hospital. I have seen some things, many cases nowadays, and whatever they have earned in their life, average family, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs hospital bill. They have not seen such bill anywhere in their life, and they knew very well that if that ventilator is removed, that body is out. Okay, they keep the ventilator, and bill will be around 15 lakhs rupees for about a week or something. And then that body goes, Jiva is gone, and they have a huge, what you call a loan, which is taken from some bank or somewhere for this. So now this is called, now the son is going through the pain of this one. Anyway, he lost father, and the hospital made money, and this son lost money. Father is gone. Now, how to analyze this situation with respect to karma? Because of some decision of son, he doesn't want to kill his father. Now he says, okay, you keep ventilator as long as he lives. That 10 lakhs rupees is gone from his pocket unnecessarily. That father, he is in a coma. He is not able to, he is not aware of anything. What is this situation? Whose bad karma is impacted this boy? And how that hospital people make a lot of money. They are another third party here. Maybe with respect to that karma and phala, you can just explain me for my understanding.
Sure.
Then I have some comments at the end, my own opinion on that.
Okay, sure. So now there are 3 beings or 4 beings. Let's forget about the son and the father and all that. There are 4 beings which are together, right?
Yeah, even cancer case also very similar, which happens.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Or any case is similar. So let's say they have 4 in a family, and they are doing all the rituals in the same way, and they are very good from what we see. From an outsider perspective, whatever we are seeing looks like they are very noble and humble and good family, right? Agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how this being came into existence to stay together? You have any idea?
That is karma bandhana only. That too.
Yes.
So many years.
Yes, that's correct. So in the past lives, not this life or any life, they have led together, just like we 4 have been together in the past. So now it is going on as our karma. But we cannot guarantee that we 4 will exist in the same way for years together. It might happen, it might not happen. Okay, now let's come to this particular case, wherein the so-called son, you remove the relationship of the son, what remains is only a being in the samsara. And you remove the relationship of a father, what remains is only the being in the samsara. So the son or this being was supposed to give something to that being, and that being was supposed to snatch something from this being, because that was a transaction which was pending to occur. So what you need to do, what you need to have is, you require to have karma anubandhana, or you should have this runa anubandha. That is a better way to put it, rather than karma anubandha, because it's going to become more complicated. So let's use a word.
Yeah, right word is runa. Yes, correct.
We should use runa anubandha. So there is a runa. So this father if he had not had any of the bad deeds phala coming into existence, COVID or no COVID, he would be still hale and healthy. Okay, now the time will come in such a way that the time for that runanubandha appears. That means you have to give at this point in time. So automatically the Prithvi, Apo, Vayo, Tejo, Akasha will change internally in such a way that it can create disease. Okay, now when the disease is created, it manifests, because that has to manifest. It cannot sit down there, because it has now sprouted. So the karma has sprouted. So when it sprouts, time for give and take comes into existence. So let's say there are two sons, and first son is earning and second son is in college or whatever, and the father has some money, and now he is sick, so they take him to let's say Apollo hospital or whichever hospital, and then he is struggling. He is in coma because that is what he is supposed to get. It is his karma. But those other people also suffer along with him, because they have put themselves into karma anubandha, which is runa anubandha. So now if this boy just gives money to his father, thinking that I am cutting out my runa anubandha by this, then there is no problem at all. He is given to that being, and the being is gone. There ends the matter. So the karma will not attach to the son. Now what the son can do is to extend that karma by feeling bad that he had to spend 15 lakhs or whatever lakhs he has spent, because now he has to take it on loan, or he has to do something. All those have happened because that karma is produced in that way. So he had all these runanubandha with others also, which made him poor in the first place. So let us say if he was very rich, then it wouldn't have mattered to him to pay the 15 lakh to the hospital. Now coming to the hospital, hospital is making money because they are not aware of the karma anubandha, also the runa anubandha. So all those people who are working in hospital are taking the karma of every patient because they have profit as their motive. So the individually, each being over there is taking the runa of every individual they are doing, because medicine and education, spirituality, that is the spiritual thing what I am doing right now, or anybody who is doing, like Sadguru or anyone, not to name anyone who is into spiritual line, or anyone who is giving health and medicine to somebody, and anyone who is in education should not accept money. If they want to donate, it is fine, but otherwise he should not touch money or gold or silver or whatever it is, or ask or make a favor or ask for something, so that problem is with the karma. It becomes a karma anubandha or runa anubandha. So in another life or whichever life, that fleecing is going to happen in one way or the other. So to cite my own example or my own experience with this, like in the case of the father, my father, who is a being in this samsara, and I being another person in the samsara, and my brother being another person in the samsara. My brother was in Egypt while my father died, so he could not come for funeral. When we took the body and burnt, and so only I was there as a son, and my younger brother was not there. So he came only after the second day. Okay, now his karma was not at all there to see the body of this being. So he had done so much of good deed that he didn't have to see at all. So in my case, I didn't have any runanubandha for my father, so I didn't have to pay anything to the hospital or to him or whatever, because by the time I came, he was dead. So there was nothing else for me to do except to, just as a procedure, take him to the hospital, and then they said he is brought dead, and there ends the matter, because there was nothing for me to pay for him. or nothing for him to take it from me. And there was nothing for him to take it from my younger brother either. And nothing to take from his wife. So nothing of that happened. Now come to my mother's death. Even more better than my father, because at least she struggled. In her case, she fell on the road, and there ended the matter. The neighbors brought her home, and they called us saying that your mother has fallen down, why don't you come to the hospital? And then when we went to the hospital, she was dead. Again, there was no runanubandha between me and my mother. That being and this being never had any transaction. As usual, my brother was not there. He was in Mumbai. So in this particular case, he was supposed to see the body of this being. So he came. So the first case, that was not at all there. So he couldn't see it. In the second case, the body connection was there. So he was able to see the body. In both the cases, both the brothers did not have anything to do with the parent. So they both did not have to pay any money to the hospital. So this is the beauty of karma. Did I answer?
Yeah, I think one clarification. See, the son and father, till father entered into that coma, whatever he has spent, it's a Rana-anubandha. You have to spend. After coma, now father is no more connected. Now son has taken a decision, let him be on the ventilator. Internally you know that he will not survive. But just for the fear of something, he has decided let him be on ventilator, and he started paying money to hospital. Now the money paying to hospital, that is his own decision, because he thought if he doesn't do that there will be bad karma on him. Okay, because of fear of he has spent. Now, is it also karmanubandha between father and son?
Yes.
Or it's a karmanubandha between him and the hospital?
No. It is between that karma will not make him to take the decision to do that.
Okay, one more example. Like a cancer patient.
Yeah, sure.
I have seen two types of people. One is that they say, okay, the family decides, give treatment, whatever is required, and they end up in 35-40 lakhs rupees expenditure. And after 1 year, 2 years, that patient will not be there. Other cases, because the suffering of that patient for that 1 to 2 years is too much. So other cases, the patient says after certain age, they say, now don't do any treatment to me. Give me some tablets which is, for pain, more kind of thing. That's fine. Then you don't worry about me. And they, as a family, they take a decision that's the right decision, because it came from that patient, that senior member. So there, how the karma operates, because in the first case, don't do anything for me, and whatever natural death happens, let it happen. Give me some minimum and don't spend your money. Use your money for your future. So here, the karma attachment with respect to that, it is minimal, because no money. But in the other cases, father is not talking anything, and without even informing that father, the children take all decision. He goes through the pain. Now, whose karma is now creating problem for other person? Because both are suffering finally.
Yes, so the both are suffering. See, now the thing is, if there is attachment, see, the major attachment to all of us is money, because we can see it as number, and we are obsessed with number. So let's say that attachment is not at all there as a number, and then only you will see that there is no value, because if you remove the value from anything at all, then you will come to the base. In the base, there is nothing. So you have only decision to be made out of compassion, what has to be done. So out of compassion, you can give the treatment for which it is going to cost some money, and you feel that this can always be earned, and you just donating it, and there ends the matter. So there is nothing to blame the hospital or the patient or anything. Again, out of compassion, you can see that why to make this person suffer with so much of radiation and chemo and all that. Instead, we can give him some therapy in such a way that the pain can be addressed to a certain extent, even though it is highly painful. That is also good, because the compassion will take over everything rather than the money. The moment you attach money or number, forget money, the number, then there is a value, and everybody values everything, including his own life or that person's life. Actually, there is no value to anybody's life because it is consciousness. It has got nothing to do with a person. So when we come to that state of thinking, you will only get compassion. You will not get anything to do with should this much of money to be sufficient or that much money to be sufficient, because the Runanubandha exists in either way. So either way, donating it is the best thing you can do. So I can consider.
No. What should be done in that case? You have to give a treatment to that elderly person
As a dana.
through that painful process, or no? People are really they really have a fear of that. If I don't take care of my father, then there's a chances of survival. Let me give him that radiotherapy and all those therapies.
No, it's not like
Then
that.
how to take a decision that time, and how this karma works there? For
Yeah,
taking
so
decision.
as an individual, let us say I am the son and my father is suffering of cancer. What I need to do is bring the value to zero. Okay.
Mm.
And
No money value. Okay.
no money value. Now you will only see it as compassion, right?
Compassion point of view, yes. You may not even inform sometimes to that parent, because why they have to go through all the process, and you will see that that person is not suffering.
Yes. So if I bring in some value, that means I have to have my father being there. It's a value. Okay. I have a tremendous attachment to my father, so I want him to survive, because if he dies, then that sin will come on me. I don't consider that he's suffering out of
Yes.
his own karma.
Correct.
So I try to do, considering it is my duty. Last time we spoke about there is no kartavya, it's only karya.
Yes. Mm.
So if we apply this rule and remove the value, you will do only two things. If you have money, you will donate it to that person, saying that anyway I have this money, I can use it for his treatment. If it works, it is good. If it doesn't work, it is okay. Finished. So there is no karmanubandhana.
Mm.
Okay. If I am thinking that I am doing it for my father, and my father has to get well and all of that, that means I am trying to take over his karma on me, which is not possible. So I am creating another Runanubandha.
I am creating a negative Runanubandha, because that person has not suffered otherwise. Because
Yes.
of me now he is suffering.
Yes.
My one decision made him to suffer for another 1 year.
Yes.
That is bad for me.
Yes. So if
Isn't
I...
it? That's what I was thinking. Because it's my decision, because I have money power.
No, but that I don't know whether how you can evaluate like that, because if that person's karma is the father's karma is to suffer, and you are reducing it by not giving him the treatment, I don't know. Meaning, how will you evaluate these balances? For me, this whole thing is sounding very interesting. The evaluation of that.
See,
You don't give a treatment because you feel you are reducing your father's suffering because of that. But
No,
if his karma is to suffer, how are you going to get? Meaning, are you planning that he has to suffer less and more? Are you deciding on his behalf? That is also right and wrong.
Very interesting question. I think my thinking is here, we go to a person called doctor, and we say that whatever doctor says, we will do it, without worrying about my father, his pain and all that. But there are some people, the moment they don't have sufficient money, and doctor also says, he is very sensitive, he will understand, oh, you don't have so much money, you are from this place, okay, then he'll say, I will do my best, let's see what happens. Then his bill will also come down. So finally, the person, that so-called son, he is having some money. These doctors are watching his money, how much we can take through this process. Especially it happens in Bangalore. And then they try to extract maximum. After that, they will not trouble. They'll say, will not survive. Now let us take out this ventilator. So till then, they will prolong. For every day, 50,000, 1 lakh. Now karma is there, the doctor also.
Yeah, I mean, according to me, each one has to do what they have to do. That's all. Whether the below one, meaning underneath that, if you are thinking you are doing and then that becomes your karma, that is a different thing. But the point is, if you have to make a decision, you have to keep doing what you are doing. That's all.
See, we are not trying to take a decision. That is what my this one problem statement here. We are not trained. What is the right decision we should take?
There is no decision. No, you have to see to it that what I am saying is, I don't know, because it's, if you are saying I am reducing his suffering, then what happens to his karma? Are you taking control of his karma is the question.
That we can't do. We cannot reduce or increase his karma and phala, right? That is
you are telling no. Meaning, if I don't give him the treatment, he will die fast, so he will suffer less. I don't prolong him for 1 more year. Do we have all those controls?
I have no answer. Maybe we'll ask.
Yeah, I will answer. It is a very nice discussion. Yes. See, it is like this. First and foremost, everybody's karma is everybody's karma. Nobody can take anybody's karma, import it, or do anything like that. Number one. Number two, to take this decision of getting the chikitsa done or the treatment done or not, it depends on what you can afford, irrespective of who the person is. So the first thing I need to remove, if I am in that position, is to think about that this person is my wife or husband or son or daughter or father and mother and all that. Instead, I should treat that person as just a being in the samsara and his suffering. Do whatever best can be done to reduce his suffering, which can be giving him treatment or alternative treatment, therapies or whatever are available depending upon my affordability. Because even I need to be able to afford.
Vilas, at this juncture, I wanted to, because I want to really ask this question, because this comes in so many other contexts also. See, you are not treating him as your father, you are another being. But the truth is that you don't do this for every other being who is suffering. You are doing because he is your father. Meaning, you don't take every other being who requires chikitsa to the hospital. Of course, when you are doing, you can treat him as another being. But the point that you are doing it for this being and not that being, you have already differentiated.
That is correct, Padmashri, because you have understood that this person you are attached to is because that the person is somehow connected with you.
That's what, so that means there is an attachment. Meaning, you don't do this to every other being in the whom you know,
Absolutely.
whom you are acquainted with.
Absolutely. So the only way to come out of that further attachment. Yeah, So if you don't want to suffer with another set of attachment in future, what you need to do is consider that person as a being in the samsara. Don't put any value tag on that, either as a treatment or chikitsa or the money or whatever you want to do. Just do it as though you are doing it to a person who is suffering. The very reason that we are all together, that is, if I call this family of mine, myself, my son and my wife, if I were to use this three of us as a subject, but we three are beings in samsara. So we are going to go with our own issues of health based upon what the karmic consequence is all about. So if I consider that I am treating my wife, then there is an attachment associated with it, because there is already a value created called as wife, which is maybe a highest value right now because I don't have any parents. If I had parent, they become higher value. So what I am trying to say is that you shouldn't add any value to it. Instead, treat them as, and treat yourself also as being in samsara. Then in that case, you will have filled with compassion for yourself and for those people around you. Then the question comes. Yeah, Padmashri, go ahead.
No, I fully understand what you are telling. That portion is very clear to me. But the point that you are taking only one of these three to the hospital when that person is in pain and not the neighbor or not the other acquaintance, that itself indicates attachment. What I am saying is that is still attachment. Otherwise, you would not distinguish between this and that.
No, that,
So I feel there is an inherent attachment which is not very easy to let go of. That is what I'm saying.
yes, that is correct.
We can always look at that person and keep saying he's another being, I am another being. But only under this, I am a being, he's also a being. There is no relation. We can keep saying that. But in our actions, do we equate this being to the other being whom we see suffering? No, there is a partiality to this being.
Yes, absolutely.
Why? Because it is attachment.
Yes, so there is no way you can get rid of attachment except for in the mind. Now that it is there, you can't say that I don't have. At the same time, you cannot say that I have. So what you can do is you can cut the attachment in the mind.
What I am saying is that doesn't help too much is what I'm saying. Still there is that attachment. I know it helps. I know it is differentiating. But that you don't have attachment is wrong, because that you have differentiated this being from another being, suffering being, meaning you are not providing your self, physical self to help to this being the same as the other being, already indicates that there is a distinction that you have created between the two beings. So the moment you do that, why there is a distinction, there is an attachment. So what I am saying is, yeah, in the mind you can keep on telling this is another being, is not my wife. But the very fact that you are doing it only to her and not somebody else is an indication of attachment, is what I'm saying. So I'm okay. I'm not saying we have to, it is very difficult. This is exactly what I'm saying, that is very difficult to get out of. And that is when I feel that you do it for the wife because you feel it is duty. The moment duty is there, there is attachment. That link is what I'm trying to say. Meaning it's so difficult to be inside the family and keep thinking, yeah, you will be able to think like that. But all your actions don't completely align to that.
Correct.
You could do that only when, though you can keep saying, I keep thinking only like that. I don't see her as a wife, I see her as another human being. Another being there, like me having a soul, like me having a body, like me being a part of the Panchendriyas. That is still very intellectual. The moment you are able to get off that intellectual, that means you are going to treat all the beings same.
Absolutely.
That is very difficult to do. They say staying in this samsara is what I'm saying.
No, what I'm trying to say is that there are only two options. When things are going good, cut out all relationships so that when things goes bad, you will not suffer. Or you can intellectualize and feel that you have learned it, but when the real thing happens, you will not be able to let go of that, so you suffer. Only two options for anybody can have. So the only way out is that you have to get into Vairagya immediately when things are going good. Otherwise, what you say makes sense. There is no other way.
Yeah, what you're saying is right. The only way the Vairagya comes is then when you start to treat all beings as same.
Yes.
All beings, whether they are staying with you because they are your in one phase in your life, you happen to see that person as a wife or a son. It is okay, but the point is that is when I felt. I was looking at it from Buddha's leave about Buddha, because Buddha did it to go into the Jnana Marga. But if you take Raghavendra Swami, he also had a wife and a child. He left them once and he came out. I keep wondering whether what he did was right or not right. Because there were people who were dependent on him. What he did was right or not right. I keep thinking. Then some answers like this. See, that is the only way you can cut attachment. Yeah, otherwise there is no way. You can keep intellectualizing the whole thing by saying another thing, but it's okay. But I have a duty, that is why I'm staying there. The moment I have a duty, it is an attachment. But he really shunned the duty also, so he started seeing everybody as his, meaning everybody as only as a being, not as a special relationship to him. So that means every other person gets the same benefit from him, or he will be able to do the same thing to the others also. Whether it means giving some.
I think we will discuss this maybe tomorrow. I had the same question. I need to join another meeting. Either you can continue or.
No. We will. We'll actually continue tomorrow.
Stop.
I had the same question about Swamiji's related.
That is also related to all of us. We don't go to that level. We don't go to that level because we feel we are okay, meaning in this spiritual level, we have taken this. This is our path, and we keep moving there. But then, if you really have to cut it off, whether it is a possibility.
Okay. All right.
Then.
Okay, then catch you tomorrow with this. I mean, we will start with this question. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.